Hello and welcome back to Carsick.my. This time round, we are taking a look at the Proton X50. The X50 was the second car to come out from the collaboration between Proton and Geely. And this car is targeted at car buyers who are looking to upgrade from their B segment sedans. Without further ado, let's take a closer look. When you first set eyes on it, the X50 looks better in real life than in photos. Overall, the X50 is a handsome looking vehicle. The black plastic cladding at the lower portion of the vehicle gives it a sporty yet rugged look. The LED headlights and taillights blends in well with the overall design. The 21555 R18 wheels and tires completes the SUV look on the X50, giving it a more premium aesthetic. Speaking about premium, the interior of the X50 uses a mix of different materials to give it the upmarket look. On first impression, spaciousness is the word that I'll use to describe the interior, especially for the rear seats. This is also helped out by the huge sunroof which allows more light into the cabin. With the front seat set to my sitting position, I still get tons of legroom at the back, and the large sunroof did not rob me from any of my headroom space. With the soft cushion and the cavernous rear seats, I wouldn't mind travelling long distance in the back of the X50. Going back to the driver's seat, I find that the driver's seat is sculpted to keep the driver comfortable over long distance. Even though the overall ergonomics for the driver's seat is spot on, I do find that the lumbar support is a little protruding for my liking. I do think that making the lumbar support adjustable would greatly improve the driver comfort. Another item that I would like to bring to your attention is that the leather on the seats tends to stick to my shirt. It makes me feel uncomfortable when I'm trying to readjust my posture when driving. As for the infotainment system, the large 10.25-inch center screen is nice to look at, but I struggle to fully utilize the large real estate. It would be nicer for Proton to include more connectivity options like Android Auto and Apple CarPlay to fully utilize the screen, as most of the time, I use Waze for navigation, and having this connectivity function would help improve the user experience of the X50. Another thing that could use some improvement is the 360 camera. The camera that Proton used on the X50 are quite low resolution. I was expecting to have the same crystal clear camera image found on the X70. NVH wise, the interior is a quiet place to be in. But once the X50 travels above 100 km per hour, the wing mirror would start to generate substantial wind noise. Can you hear it? But after a while, you get used to it. Let's talk about how it drives. Powering the X50 is a brand new 1.5-litre 3-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine that produces around 175 brake horsepower and 255 Nm of torque. The power is sent to the front wheel through a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. On the move, the engine has plenty of torque to help the X50 to keep up with the traffic easily. Most importantly, when you drive the car within the torque curve, the X50 felt effortless when picking up speed. Going back to the 3-cylinder engine configuration, the vibration from the engine is isolated from the cabin. At times, the engine do sound like a diesel engine. During my time with the car, my fuel consumption figure was hovering around 10 litres per 100 km. With the 45-litre fuel tank, you might need to visit the fuel station quite often. Maybe the car is telling me that I have a heavy foot, who knows. In terms of suspension, the X50 has a very well-tuned suspension that absorbs bumps like how a Continental car would. Going over uneven roads, the vibration and judders from the road surface barely even reach the cabin. Very impressive. However, the X50 suspension is tuned towards the softer side. As the X50 is a SUV, body roll are quite obvious when taking corners and braking. Speaking about the brakes on the X50 has just sufficient braking performance to bring the car to a standstill. This is not helped by the brake pedal, as the biting point for the brake pedal is pretty down low. It might caught some driver off guard during emergencies if they are not familiar with the car. Back to the X50 handling. The steering wheel is rather light and vague, but this can be solved by switching into sports mode, which made the steering wheel slightly heavier. When driving, I find the steering system is quite direct and precise. Combined with the rigid chassis, it does help enhance the cornering capability of the X50. Safety-wise, the X50 is loaded with a whole host of safety features and driver assistance system. It's a rather complete system to be available at this price point. Most of the time, the safety system works flawlessly, but during heavy rain, I do encounter the blind spot monitoring system malfunction. I guess it's something Proton could look into. At the end, for 105,000, this is a lot of car for the money. Powerful yet comfortable, this car is an easy recommendation for those who are looking for a B-segment SUV. No wonder Proton is struggling to meet the demands for the X50. Personally, the lack of Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, plus the high fuel consumption, would make me think twice about getting one. But if that's something you can live with, there's no other competitor out there that is able to provide this level of standard features at this price point. So stay tuned for more, leave a like and subscribe for more future videos.